everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger with SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, May 16th through Sunday, May 22nd, 2016. For this weekly angel card reading, we'll be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck for your main message. And depending on your stone of choice for this week, that special message card will come from Doreen Virtue's Fairy Tarot deck. So before we show you what the week are, and before we talk a little bit about the astrology for the week, I want to just make a very brief special announcement. I've mentioned it very briefly in my last couple of videos, but I wanted to make sure that you all knew of the special event that's happening on Wednesday, May 25th of this month. On May 25th of this month, it will be the first in a series of events where all of you, wherever you are, all over the world, can participate right from the comfort of your own home or from where you are at work or wherever you happen to be on that day. This event is called One Seed Meditation. It was a little while ago that a lovely young woman named Regina Mosier contacted me, and asked me if I would assist her in creating this event, developing this event. And she definitely came up with this beautiful idea where we would all join our minds, our hearts, our energies in meditation for the peace and well-being of the planet and of humanity. That, again, this special event is for all of us to connect with one another, for all of us to send peace and love and healing to the world, to each other. And in doing this, in sending that healing love and light energy to the planet, to Gaia, to all of the countries of the world, to all of the people of the world, you're actually sending that healing love and light energy to your own families, your own friends, and even to yourselves, because we're all interconnected. So please check out the details for this meditation event. It's a 15-minute meditation event that, again, you can do from anywhere during the course of that day, but it will be scheduled at a specific time. So the more people that can do it at that time, which will be 11 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday, May 25th, you'll have to adjust for the time zone you're in. If you can make it at that time, that would be spectacular, because the more people we have at the same time sending this love and light, healing energy to the planet, the stronger it's going to be. But even if you can't make it because of your time zone or because of things that you're doing on that day, you can take 15 minutes or more or less, if you prefer, of time on that day to send this love and light energy, to send your positive intentions, to send your healing energy to the planet and to humanity, because this is going to help us as a collective to come back into a space of peace and unity, which is the goal. So again, please check out the Facebook page. It's under One Seed Meditation Event. That's ONE, capital SEED, One Seed, all one word, meditation event. So let's get into the astrological energies for this week. So first, let me show you your special stones of choice. And I have 3 stones here. Now, we do have a full moon in Sagittarius this week. And I always think of, when I think of Sagittarius, I think of this kind of orange energy for some reason. So I picked 3 orange stones, and I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the metaphysical and spiritual properties of each stone, so you can think ahead of time of which stone seems to vibrate for you this week for the special message. So the first stone of choice, this is orange calcite. Now, orange calcite is very energizing and cleansing of the lower chakras, in particular the sacral chakra, which is your center of passion and creativity. This is a stone that's going to help to balance a lot of the lower vibrational emotions, especially emotions dealing with fear and depression. It's also good from a health perspective in helping with things that are, again, out of balance in the sacral chakra area, especially things that deal with the reproductive organs or with the intestinal area. It's really good for helping to heal IBS types of disorders. Your second stone of choice is amber. And normally we think of amber as being yellow in color, but there's all different colors of amber. There's more of an orange kind of amber, which this one is, and sometimes amber even comes in a kind of a green color. But this one again is more of an orange, golden colored amber. And the amber is a very powerful healer and also a powerful cleanser as well. Energies and disease out of the body. It helps to absorb and transmute lower vibrational or negative energies or emotions or feelings or thoughts. It's really good with stress. It's good with helping to clear depression as well. And it's very good because it vibrates to that sacral and solar plexus chakras more so, to help with creative self-expression and to having more of a sunny, bright, joyous disposition. Your third stone of choice is a beautiful carnelian. And the carnelian is, again, very high energy. All of these stones, because of the orange color, are high energy stones. This one really helps to restore vitality and energy to your body, your physical body. It helps with motivation. It helps you with motivation on your life path, on your destiny path. It helps you with creativity and also having more of a sense of courage to move forward in your life. It's good for energies of trust within yourself. It's also good for mental concentration. And from a physical perspective, it's very good with helping with kidney disorders as well as also the reproductive organs of the body. Again, all the sacral chakra area with the health. Okay, so let's get into the week. Now, there's not a lot happening Monday through Thursday. Now, there's always things happening with the moon because the moon moves through each sign of the zodiac in about 2.5 days to a lot of different planets. You'll get more information on those types of aspects if you are one of the people that watch or like or follow my Facebook posts at the page Colleen Lemma or under the Facebook page Sacred Soul Empowerment. But for Monday through Thursday, again, not a lot happening. I'm going to skip all the way to Friday. And Friday, the 20th, we have the sun moving into the sign of Gemini. So now the sun's out of Taurus, and Taurus was a more practical, grounded type of energy, which is good. We need that grounded, focused, and manifestation ability of Taurus. But now it's in this lighter, kind of silly, bright, optimistic, kind of Gemini energy. You know, Gemini is a mental sign, and it deals with multitasking, and it deals with the fairy realm, and it deals with kind of, again, it's kind of this, it reminds me of a silly, kind of fun energy. On Saturday, the 21st, is when we actually have our full moon. The full moon is in Sagittarius at 1 degree Sagittarius. Now, on that day of the full moon, the moon in Sagittarius is going to be opposing Venus in Gemini and conjuncting Mars in Sagittarius. Now, the Gemini energy and the Sagittarius energy, they're both considered mutable signs. And mutable means changeable energies, that there's changes happening, that there's fluctuations in the energy. You know, when we think of the fixed signs, like Taurus was a fixed sign, that's stable energy, that's grounded energy, where you don't really like change and you stay with kind of the status quo and you stay a little bit conservative. But with these mutable energies, with the sun moving into Gemini and the full moon in Sagittarius, it's all about change and freedom and variety and redirections and doing things a little different and doing a lot of things at once. And that's where that mutable energy comes in. Now, on Sunday, a couple things happening Sunday too. The sun, again, just newly going into Gemini, is now opposing Mars in Sagittarius. So again, bringing that kind of lighter, redirective kind of energy. Now, if you're someone that likes things to stay the same and you're not looking for change, all of this mutable energy for you. But for those of you that thrive on change, then you're going to really like the energies of this week, because it's really going to bring a lot of changing energies with Mars in the mutable sign of Sagittarius and the Sun in the mutable sign of Gemini. It's going to be a really good time to get out in nature and connect with the fairy realm, or call in the fairy elements, if you will, or the elementals to assist in some way. If you connect with nature, it might actually bring a lot of inspiration and creative ideas. Now, the biggest thing that happens this week is that Mercury goes to direct motion. Yay! Okay, but it's in the sign of Taurus, and it's obviously, if it's going direct on Sunday, that means it's slowing down all this week. It's slowing down in the sign of Taurus. It goes direct at 14 degrees Taurus, right in the middle of the sign. And Taurus is that more grounded, stable energy. But remember, when Mercury slows down to turn retrograde, when it slows down to turn direct, that's when you're going to have the things like miscommunications or missed meetings or things not making sense, or computers or cars or phones or electronics kind of going a little bit haywire. Now, I don't know if it's going to be as much about the electronics, because it's in the sign of Taurus, which is more of an earth sign, so it's a little bit more grounded than that. There might be some, though, also some miscommunications about money or finances, or things happening with money and finances, because Taurus is that sign that rules our resources, our money, our finances. So there might be some things that need to be tweaked or reworked, or a new plan or a new decision that has to be made regarding those things in life that deal with finances, or that deals with things that you value and you appreciate. There is the moon in Sagittarius, still coming off of that full moon in early degree Sagittarius, so it's still in Sagittarius on Sunday. And the moon in Sagittarius will be making a challenging aspect to Neptune, which is kind of a confusing energy emotionally, makes a challenging aspect to Jupiter, which has just gone direct in Virgo, so Jupiter's still at its stationary point as well. And it's going to then make a conjunction. The moon will make a conjunction to Saturn. So the moon challenging Jupiter, and in a sense connecting with, which can feel like a challenging energy, to Saturn. So there's going to be a lot of, especially because Mercury goes direct on that day, there's going to be a lot of interesting energies. I'm not quite sure how they're going to play out. You never know with kind of that Neptunian energy. It's a little confusing. But at the very least, there's going to be things that, if you can wait to make a decision about something, or if you can wait to take a new direction on something, it would be best to wait. I feel like you need to do a little bit more research. You need to understand a little bit more about what's going on before committing to week, because there's going to be some fluctuations going on. Okay, so because I had that announcement in the beginning of the video, I did go ahead and I meditated on the week, and I shuffled our Angel Tarot cards, and I did pull 3 cards for the week. Now, before I even pulled those 3 cards for the week, I had 1 card fall out on the floor while I was shuffling and meditating on the energies. So I actually put that as an extra card, or an extra special message card, or a card to kind of wind up the information or message for the week as well. So I've already pulled those cards. Again, we're going to pull your special message card in a couple of minutes here. But let's go ahead and take a look at the first card for this week's message. So I'm seeing these for the first time as well as you. Okay. We have the Ace of Air. This is a good card to start the week out, really. The Ace of Air is brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation, and it also says a challenging beginning. The aces are always about new beginnings. The air suit is the mental realm, which is why this is about a new beginning as far as our thoughts, our ideas, our belief systems, new communications that are happening with people to bring in new ideas. Maybe we're brainstorming with another person or with a group of people. This can also be us getting ready to make that decision. As I said, we'll see what the rest of the cards say, but because Mercury is slowing down in its retrograde motion, I don't think we should make the decision quite yet. It does say a challenging new beginning, so I'm getting the sense that we might have to make a different decision, like whatever our plans have been, whatever our path has been for the last few weeks. We might have thought this was the direction we were going to take, or this was, what we needed to focus on or what we needed to do. But I think over the course of this Mercury retrograde, we've gotten some new information, and the universe has redirected us in a way through challenges to the path, so that we're needing to look at a different area, a different project, a different idea, or add something or delete something as far as what we're doing. This can be about career, it can be about projects that we're working on. It can even be something new in regards to relationship matter or money matter. So it can cover any aspect of life. It can even have to do with family matters. We'll take a look at the second card here in just a second and see if we can get more information. But I'm really drawn to the fact that this unicorn or Pegasus, it looks like a unicorn, which is a Pegasus with the wings there. So we're getting ready to expand. It's like we're getting ready to expand into a new positive mental direction. And let's take a look at the second card to see what more information we can get on what that new positive mental direction might be. Okay, so now we have the Nine of Air. I don't think this is the new positive direction we want to go in, but this is going to be some information that we need, obviously. And the Nine of Air says, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. Okay, so right away when I read that, they reminded me of the fact that Jupiter, the planet of blessings, the planet of expansion, is in a challenging aspect all this week and into next week with Saturn, the planet that rules karmic lessons and restrictions. Now, if you haven't already seen my new soul reflections video, I just did a new soul reflections video specifically on Jupiter squaring Saturn and some of the confusion that it's bringing up in our lives right now. This kind of push-pull, tug-of-war kind of energy, things happening with our physical bodies, things happening with people around us, things that are even going on in some regards with our pets. But there's definitely a confusing kind of chaotic energy. So you'll want to go back and watch that Soul Reflections video under my YouTube channel entitled Colleen Lemma to get further information on that. But because of that aspect, Jupiter square Saturn, that's coming to a head next week, we have a tendency to look at the glass as half empty rather than half full. We have a tendency to get self-critical or negative in our thinking and in our belief systems about things because things may appear to be a little challenging. But the key word there is appear. Things may appear challenging or they may actually be challenging, but usually it's for a reason. We're being directed through something, through a certain lesson, through this challenging energy for a reason. And the Nine of Air asks us to not get caught up in the ego mind. It asks us to not get caught up in fears, which are just illusions of our ego mind. Don't expect the worst. That's what this card is saying. No matter what's happening around you, don't let the mind fear the worst or look. So it's interesting that we had the Ace of Air, which is a new beginning, the beginning of a new way of thinking, and then the Nine of Air, which is almost towards the end of the minor arcana before we get to the the page and the knight and the queen and the king. And there is the 10, which would have been the last, but this is getting towards the end. It's the end of a way of thinking or believing. So I'm feeling like we need to let go of some of the negative ego mind stuff and become a little bit more positive. It's almost like maybe they should have been the other way around. Maybe the 9 should have been first and the 8 should have been second, because I'm feeling like guides are saying, look at this from a more clear perspective. Look at this from the Ace of Air perspective, that there's a challenging new beginning here. But through this challenging new beginning, and through keeping your thoughts positive and not allowing the ego mind to pull you into a negative tailspin, this is where there's going to be a positive new direction that comes in. Let's take a look at the last card and see what the last card says. Well, almost the last card, because there is a 4th card here. Okay, so we have the 8 of Water. Okay, the 8 of Water says a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. So just like I said, that Jupiter in Virgo squaring Saturn and Sagittarius is causing confusion, and it's causing us to look a little deeper. Virgo needs to look deeper into things, but use discernment instead of self-critical or self-judgmental energies. And the same with Saturn and Sagittarius. Saturn and Sagittarius can bring up lessons of judgment. Are you judging yourself? Are you judging your life? Are you judging others? Are you doing the Virgo thing and you're being self-critical or too demanding or too perfectionistic? And is Jupiter expanding all of that a little bit out of control? This is saying that we're looking for something more. We're looking for something better. We're looking to feel better. And the 8 is about empowerment. The number 8 in numerology is about empowering ourselves and stepping into our power. And here we're talking about it. We're being asked to step into a feeling of being more empowered in our lives. You have the power within your soul to make the changes that you need to bring about joy, happiness, abundance, prosperity, health, well-being. You have the power within you. And this card is saying to move into that more meaningful direction, to empower yourselves emotionally, to look at these cups as being half full or full instead of half empty or empty. So search out what gives you a sense of true spiritual happiness, what gives you a sense of true spiritual, a sense of passion in your life. Let's see if there's anything else I can get from this. Okay. Nothing else comes to mind. So let's take a look at the last card here. Okay, so here's our positive. If we can move into this realm of empowering ourselves and searching for the meaning of life, of what's going to allow us to feel empowered, then this is what we're going to get. We're going to get the 10 of Earth, which is a beautiful, wonderful card. And the message at the bottom of this card says a very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. Okay, that again reminds me of Jupiter and Virgo. Jupiter is the expansion principle, and Virgo is about paying attention to the details, finding those blessings, those Jupiter blessings in the small details of life. And then when you focus on all the details of your life, that is a blessing. Your friends, your job, your home, the food you have, your pets, whatever it might be, your car, anything that you have that provides you a sense of happiness, joy, security, a feeling of abundance and prosperity. Those are the things to focus on and feel grateful and thankful for, because that's what's going to help more of those blessings to grow and expand and be manifested, especially through this Jupiter square Saturn time period. That's what's going to help you, is by focusing on the positive. Okay, so it's like, beautiful family, focusing on family and children, getting out in nature. There's a lot of trees, a lot of mountains, a lot of beautiful green grass and beautiful orange sky, which is interesting because this week. But this is bringing us again into a very beautiful, positive, real place because the earth suit is about those things that are tangible, our career, our money, our finances, our projects, our destiny path, our family and our loved ones. All of these things are tangible things that we can hold close and create more of this blessing energy with. So let's take a look at what your special message card is, depending on your stone of choice. Okay, so this is going to be for the orange calcite people. So if you chose orange calcite, I'm going to try not to show you the bottom of the deck while I'm shuffling and trying to choose a card here. Let's see. Trying to lift this up high enough. Okay, this one's sticking out for the orange calcite people. Okay, you have Major Arcana number 14, which is the Balance card. And this card says, input into consideration, merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time. There's no need to rush. So stay balanced. There's no need to rush. There's no need to push forward ahead of schedule. Remember, Mercury has just turned direct as of the last day of this week, Sunday. So we're going to want to wait a week or 2 weeks until Mercury starts to pick up speed. And it's interesting, too, that the numerological vibration of the month of May is a 14. So again, going back to watch the monthly reading for the month of May might give you more insight into the number 14 and what that's all about for the month. But it's definitely about change through balance, or balance through change is the kind of the phrase that they give me. So there's changes that are coming, but you have to stay balanced as you move through these changes. And again, it may not come this week. You might start to feel or see the changes this week, but I feel like they're yet to come. In the next 2 to 4 weeks, you'll see more changes as they start to occur. It appears also that you want to ask for others' input, connect with other people that you trust, friends and family, for their input, for their information, for their wisdom. And this is going to help you to give you more insight as well. I feel like you also, the lion here stands out. So I feel like you might want to look up lion as a totem, or the cat or the feline energy to see what that's all about for you as far as your special message this week. Okay, for those of you that chose the amber, let's give this a little shuffle. And the amber people, okay, this one on the bottom is calling my attention, is the Four of Winter. Okay, so amber people, set aside your concerns for now. It says you can make a decision later. So here we have another theme of not yet making a decision. It says solutions that come from meditation, the need for sleep or a vacation. So whereas the orange calcite people need to not make a decision but connect with other people for more information, you, the amber people, make a decision yet, but you're supposed to connect within yourselves. So through contemplation, through meditation, through alone time, through slowing down your activities, especially I want to say the mental activities here, really slowing yourselves down to kind of connect with your higher soul self, to connect with your angels and guides. That's going to be where you get more clarity, where you get more answers. It also feels like there's going to be a need because of maybe the anxieties or the busyness of the energies this week with all the mutable fluctuation of Gemini and Sagittarius going on. I feel like you need to really do some things that help you ground, slow down, and of course, meditation, which is what we've been talking about, is one of those things, but exercise, getting a massage, getting something like that that's going to really help to slow you down and bring you a sense of peace and clarity this week is going to be needed. Rest. I feel like you're going to need more rest. So honor your body's need to take a cat nap in the day, or go to bed a little bit earlier than you normally would, or sleep in if it's at all possible. That's going to be your message for the week. And for those of you that chose the carnelian, let's pick up our deck again. Okay, so carnelian people. This one, nope, that one has like three others attached to it. This one is at the bottom, and it was at the top, and then it was at the bottom. Okay, this is the 8 of winter. Isn't that interesting? Because we had the 8 of water in our general reading, and your special message card is the 8 of winter. And it says, you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself. Thinking that you're powerless when you're not. So again, there's that theme of empowering yourself here. It says a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. So this is also about empowering yourself, okay? Empowering yourself on the mental level, empowering yourself on the material level, which, we all want to empower ourselves with more finances and material security. But first you have to empower yourself on the inside in order to allow that empowerment to flow out to the external. Okay, so first it's a matter of going within. To me, when I think of winter, I think of winter, cold, snow, and I just want to hibernate, and I just want to go within, and I don't want to be social. I don't want to go out of my house because it's too cold outside. That's what I think of when I think the 8 of winter. It's like going within yourself and being silent within yourself and empowering yourself within, because once you have that fully secured within yourself, that confidence and that security and empowerment within yourself, then that empowerment can then be projected to all of the circumstances and situations and relationships around you, and start to create more of the empowering energies around you, to where you really hold your own. You hold more of a leadership kind of stance, a more secure ability within yourself. So let me see if there's anything else here. I feel like, she's on solid ground. She's on a block of ice here, and that ice is kind of floating in a pond. So it's like you're surrounded by these emotions. To me, the water around that block of ice is the emotional realm. So I feel like you're holding your own, and you're trying to stay very calm and serene, and again in a space of confidence with whatever it is you're going through, or what others around you are going through. I feel like that's the emotional realm around you, is that other people might be going through some things, and you're trying to just kind of hold your own and stay strong, in assisting them or in helping them move through their stuff. Of course, it can be your stuff too. But I feel like you are stronger than you know that you are, which is really the message of this card. You're stronger than you think you are, and you can move through this. And your angels and guides are definitely here to help you. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. I hope to see you at the One Seed meditation and joining our hearts and our minds together for peace and unity of all the planet on May 25th. So until next week, many blessings of love and light to all. Love and light.